Huh?
Kind of chilly out.
Are you guys okay?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just a
we're
little
okay.
chilly.
How are you doing, Ivan?
I'm sorry, it's been kind of awkward with you guys showing up so many times.
I'm sorry.
And it just rained recently.
Yeah.
It's cold out, but
We won't be long. We just want to see how you're doing.
I don't know what you guys have been here originally from, like who was the request being made from, because I tried to contact Adult Protective Services a whole bunch of times for the last few. Um, it is cold.
Yeah, it is.
You guys have been putting up with a lot. And have you guys have been both here like 5 times? And then basically I've been causing horrible issues with communication, I guess, because with the police, they're the ones that they say call 911, right? For the
Emergency.
well, it's the cases with little kids getting molested when you're a little kid. So do you guys, are you both from Albuquerque, New Mexico?
Yeah, but we're not doing little cases.
Right, because what I contacted any authorities for was supposed to get those resources and those services. But it was being humiliated for 5 years, getting set up on my dad being all this interest to quit his job as a cab driver. And now
Yeah, you got
that car, it's the same make and model, because the blue car that was broken over there, you guys didn't even like
You got an
jump out your flash phone smartphones and take like, this is the picture of the location on the report, and then you get to file that at your offices or whatever your mode of having to work with the paperwork and stuff like that. My mom worked for the human on Edith and Mountain. There's another block away that it's the main post office. That's where my grandpa's grandma used to live. But my mom, she worked up at that office there, the Department of Labor, Human
I remember
Rights
that
Department.
place.
So
Yeah.
my sister was driving or just getting her license, and basically the need to borrow the car because she could drive and do like, when you go to the grocery store, like Furs had like the little card, and you can get the money out of the ATM, right? So she gives us those types of responsibilities or whatever. So my older sister, she's doing like that kind of stuff like normal. High school's getting whatever. We're at El Dorado. Like, did you guys get to go to high schools here, or my dad went to some kind of like parochial and secular. So like somewhere downtown, a lot of stuff. He was born in California, but they moved back here and got this plot of land and built the first segment. The second is this block. So the first block is the front, and then they added the step where the step went in. It's this hardened spot that goes up into the kitchen.
So where did you go to school? Where'd you go to high school?
When my dad, so it's a weird dynamic because he would drop us off here when like the courts were like, oh, we're gonna fight. My mom was here with Monique and pregnant, and she smoked because they didn't care about smoking babies back then. And they met at a, you know, Anik Caseman up there. There was a bar right across the street, and on the
Valencia
corner.
Bar.
You know it?
Yeah.
Oh, can I get a fist bump? That's so cool. That's where my mom and my dad met. But he met her with his best friend, and he worked at the post office with my dad for like 20 years. So they used to do these, what are they called? Company picnic things. And they'd rent out these places in the mountains, and there'd be these things called maypoles. And I have no idea if there's like a segment of like Americana that people knew what they were doing. But I think it's a braid that people do. But I don't know what kind of material it would be that you're supposed to go out there. Is it like the flag material? Like it's like a polyester?
You know, all I know is this kids use, is there like, what, like a rope or something on a pole?
Ropes? And
Yeah.
then and throw it all up.
And, yeah, and the kids used to go.
They're supposed to like intertwine in something, but it's also like Easter. Like we just had it or whatever, and then we lost the. I hate that all of these case stuff that was with me and my sister, it all has this like literal geographical like blockages because we're in Kentucky. We got Sister T, and she loved my grandma's eggplant, so that she would come over and stuff. But we would be doing our first Holy Communion like training, but we're out in a really rural area, and those states they allow corporal punishment, right? So they have a paddle, but it has the extra added holes in it, so that they're walking around with the recess 3 times a day. You get the lunch recess, but you get I would get a Mickey Mouse like ice cream thing. And then you can get these things that you put on the pencil, and then it puts your fingers in the right spots and stuff. And they were teaching cursive in 2nd grade, but here we didn't get it till 5th grade. So all these details and stuff in like mass amounts. I was at GameStop at Coors and Pastel del Norte, and my customer service was at a, like, I try to tell you, want to put extra money on a game that's going to come out in months that you're not going to forget about because they're going to come in and see us, and we're going to have your trading in and stuff like that. But my own like addictions, because I was saving up money just to leave to go visit my fiance, which you're not supposed to date the exchange student. So that's why I was taking people around to try to show the pictures real quick, but I don't think I got to that sentence. Flip on the light. But her name's Natsuko Umino. So basically she was from Japan, and out of all the different states she got to pick here. And then basically the whole mess up with like prom and stuff like that, that was all when we went to film class.
Where'd you meet her?
At art class. So basically my stepdad, he was the guy that owned both stores at Windrock and Coronado called Earth Shoe and Earth Origins. So if you guys ever went to the malls, and it was a shop, and it would have women's dresses for spring, they have spaghetti straps mainly, I guess. So they were always a lot of dresses on just one display or something. But you couldn't hide in them. And I used to like to go to the other stores and hide in the middle because there's the little, like you know, all the hangers and stuff like that. There's like a little center spot. So if you ever lose a kid in a shop or something, that's where you can look, because it's like a little place. And you can fall asleep and stuff. I remember there were like shops that we could just go in at Windrock and Coronado. And I could stay there for hours or whatever. And then my stepdad showed me the plan for the Tilt, which was going to open, and it was going to have a carousel inside of it. So like he used to take me to get like a slice of pizza or something. But he'd be running a shop, and they had like special shoes like moccasins, were really like trendy or something in the 80s. We had another store in Dallas, Texas, and that's where he had the key, the spare key. And when reaching out to ask people for help in this last 2 years, that's when like the details were like searching for the details. Like if you guys are like with health services and you find a kid and the kid's been in a trunk, those time frames might be really bad. Like in Texas, the heat's a little bit different. So me and my sister getting out of the trunk, it was the police there, and that was the recent like fines of like having in 2019 calling the cops and all this stuff. It was 2017. We were still with my dad's family therapist. So with film, me and my dad were in film class. My mom was in film class too, but she got into term right after us. Monique had hit her glasses, and it popped the thing to hit her socket and give her a black eye. Mom's job was at the UNM. Our cousin here, Liz, she was at UNM at a different place too. So Elliot, he had a house over here, and but they all worked with UNM at times and stuff like that. So one of the things is after a certain time that you get to work with UNM, you get to go to classes for free. Mom was fired because their coworkers in her office were having like a romantic tryst or something like that. So then they came up with an excuse to say that mom got approval to get work to take at home, because it was picture taking that they used to take, but they had like some like paperwork stuff and administrative. So she was going to do it at home while her eyeball, like, because she has to take pictures for people at UNM, and then it would look better later, or not put people off when they're having to get together. But they let her go, and that's where when my dad was in class, and I was already trying to promote her to get into the class with us, because that would have been really cool, because we just done that for Star Wars, The Phantom Menace.
Oh, I don't know where to
You're
ask
not
you
warming
something.
up either.
I know.
It's
I
warmer
will.
over there.
Yeah, my son.
It is.
Ivan,
You're
I
checking if
heard
I'm
you
okay.
had this question about this medication, whether you've got the
Well, there's tons of
dosages.
different medications that they've been offering along the way that I have to keep
Yeah.
track of all this type of stuff. But when I try to go get a pencil or something like that before,
Well,
nobody waited around or anything like that. And it's like 5 different times that you guys can come by and stuff like that. And it's really appreciated if you guys are actually trying to help out. But if I didn't get in contact with you guys in the first place, if it was because getting other people upset or something like that, and the cops were pressing charges for me calling the cops
Oh,
to
yeah.
try
Do
to
you
get.
have our number?
No, I don't know who I'm supposed to be
You
in
can
contact
call us.
with.
You
But
can
when
call
I
us.
called the first time, they hung up on me.
Wow.
It was after you guys first visited, and that's when I started yelling at you guys the second time, and that's when I was recording stuff and then
Okay.
posting it as soon as I
Okay.
got ready. So it's so weird. It's May, right? It's my birthday's month, and then sometimes in this month in Albuquerque, when I was younger, it would snow a little bit up by the foothills because my family here, my mom, she had us back into Harris after the whole thing in Texas. But that police report as first grade through 12th grade, that's where the Social Security application with my dad was failing from 2011 to 2012, but I had that paperwork packet, so I was trying to do that work here. That's where all the stuff got
Ivan, if
piled
you
down.
don't- Ivan,
Dad.
if you don't mind, if I ask you again, I think the last medication you got, you were wondering about the dosage.
Right, no. They were saying that there was going to be 2 of them, and that was Mohammed.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so
the one
basically
Tina.
Mohammed left, and then the other 2 aren't available. So basically, the situation, if I had a history with the care coordinator, that was probably the ideal person to get all of the different medications, because if my general practitioner had
Do you
wanted
need help?
my general
getting-
practitioner
Do you
or
need
the
help? Do you need help with someone to help you to get those medications in order, so we know exactly what you're taking, why you're taking them, and how much you're supposed to be taking?
Right,
Would
so-
that be helpful for you though?
But like, are you guys fully like holistic sciences and stuff
I
like
believe
that?
in that myself. But
Here-
everybody does.
Here
It's
in
different.
New Mexico, there's supposed to be some kind of like school system that people come from all over the world to go to that school, but they learn like stuff like
Different things.
you're supposed to build an Orno, the oven thing.
Yeah.
And then you burn things to the point that they no longer exist, and then that has like a certain like substances to it for other things, and there's like a bunch of different like. But with medical marijuana, with post-traumatic stress disorder, and civilians not being military and stuff like that, you guys might know what my mom was talking about with a service animal being $20,000 or something like that. But if you train them, or you train the person to be able to actually have the animal available, it would be a very ideal situation. My dad's
Yes.
killed the grass over here, but we have a well over here by these rocks, and then underneath this carport there's a well there. So then even fixing this thingy, it's like where it goes to empty out. Simple things like that where people aren't able to maintain and function even with like COVID. You guys aren't like masking up and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but it's still like there might be a variant that's always out there, like the common cold or something.
Ivan, let me just ask you this.
I had to look up.
So those medications that,
I have a
Mohammed-
heart thingy.
Yeah.
My general practitioner had started it off in the 2000s. So we were doing some blood tests and stuff like that. And then my dad kind of tapered down doing any of the notes because now his default to like fall apart and everything like that has been so much questionable. The whole car thing, the way that it's been starving me.
Ivan, I gotta ask you, so those medications from Muhammad, have you been taking them?
Well, that's kind of like, if you had been curious about that enough, like,
Yeah.
how did you guys get my information? How did you get any conclusion that the medications were needed in the first place?
Well, because we've been with Muhammad's been out.
But he's not here right now to answer any of the questions.
Yeah, okay, I understand.
But
I
what
understand.
has the situation been this entire time if it hasn't been explained clearly enough from you guys? If I originally tried to get in contact with anybody with an authority to help with my situation for the last 5 years, my grandma is no longer here, but her as a witness for those 3 different cases of me disappearing or getting assaulted or having my sister being hurt. Is that a dog or a cat? It's a little tiny fuzzy thing that's going behind the tree root. Or,
It's a little dog, that little black and white one. No, it's a cat, wait, I don't know.
Calico, like maybe
black and
brown,
white,
brown
right?
and white, brown, white, and black.
white?
Well, like a spot on one spot.
It's a little dog.
Okay. There used to be an old grandma cat and a bunch of little kittens and stuff, and then all their ears got cut.
Oh, God.
I don't get to come outside that often, and it's been
Oh,
really
you should.
it's been really bright lately. But now it's really
You know
overcast,
what,
which nice.
Ivan, you need sunshine.
Oh yeah, it's a vitamin D
Yes.
deficiency.
All you have to do is get your chair when it warms up, put it out there. You know what, when I stepped out of the car,
but you might-
know what
you
I
might
felt?
be-
No, let me finish. When I got out of the car, you know what I felt like? I was in the mountains. Cause of your
Oh, yeah.
trees, it's so
Yeah,
awesome.
you got a
And the pine
beautiful, you
cones.
have a beautiful
I said, man, I
place.
could just sit out here
The
and just
sea-
relax.
The seeds get to flood it, and
Well,
then
it's not flooded now.
even last night it was just
yeah,
even
like,
like
oh yeah,
half a
it
minute.
did rain. Did you hear the thunder and the lightning?
It's only for a second though. And it's
But it
nice
was
when it floods so
nice.
much that it actually causes. Well, it used to
Oh,
be
that's why
actually
you-
fixed, and
that's
that's
why
when
you-
my dad actually.
Maybe we can.
Well,
that
it's
could
my
be a-
dad.
Well,
My
maybe
dad
that's a
has a
project we
limit
can
to
do.
the things that he's been interested in ever really being. Like the basketball court here, it has me and my grandpa and my sister's little initials written on
Aw.
the cement.
I
But
get
it's
that.
because my dad wouldn't want to practice like playing catch
Yeah.
or teach me how to ride a bike. Those are only specific moments, specifically because these cases were my mom's parents returning us from Kentucky was 1988. So the date that's scraped into the concrete, that's right before the Ninja Turtles movie
What?
came out,
That was in
89.
89.
Ivan,
My
look at
grandson.
those trees. You were telling us about those. Look how
The-
much they've grown so much
Yeah,
since.
the thing
we were
is
here.
they create a poison that kills other plants
It
around
does.
them.
It does.
It's called like something else, but they call it like a Jesus plant or
I
something
think it's a
because they're-
Joshua tree. I heard.
and like they're invasive.
Yeah, they
and
are.
Like,
They should pull them
the
out.
other thing is the catfish. Apparently, it's a fish that's evasive or something.
Mm-hmm.
I like to hear that there's like some kind of solutions with other different types of things, and if you could steal that idea and use it with different
Yeah.
other. So the thing about the rough drafting, like my mom and my dad's situation.
Yeah.
Oh, it's changing up. But I'm a little bit more used to.
The dark.
The-
I think you asked about sunglasses.
Yeah.
So like,
good
did you
idea.
did you actually find? Here it's better, because it tones down a little bit each
Yeah.
little segment under. But the idea was like maybe there's a mosquito net at like the dollar store,
Uh-huh.
and then weight it at the base.
Yeah, they are. They sell
But,
those.
but what happens is this is where the puddle comes first. but the whole trench was supposed to be fed out into like the design of the thing there. But yeah, my grandpa doing every single little piece. It was my dad that was always like, don't knock it till you'll try it and stuff like that. And like even those railroad ties over there, they are impossible to do on your own. You need a,
Oh, those are heavy.
you have to do a thingy thing.
Can't get that stuff on you.
But you can get the Harbor Freight is one of the coolest things if you never had that one growing up or whatever. But the thing with like tech and stuff like that, I can put it at least for audio purposes at least, so that at least I have a record of you guys showing up. And I'm trying to ask like certain types of help. Oh, it's so sad here.
Do you want our number then?
That house. Oh yeah, I don't have anything to write with, and I've lost access to like getting stuff really close. But that used to be.
We're kind of running short. We got to get back to the office.
But you guys get paid, right?
Yeah.
It's
But
not like you're
we wanted
volunteering
to
or
stop by
anything.
and say hi to your dad for a minute.
I'm gonna say
That
hi
sounds mighty,
quickly.
mighty awesome and everything like that. But yeah, all the medications and
because-
stuff like that are awesome. But there's dog purpose to like jump up on face to go to like school and stuff
But
like
if you
that.
need help or you have questions about the medications, that's why I can leave you that number so you can ask Muhammad yourself.
Is it still on just like the internet and stuff like
It's on
that?
First Nations.
Like just the term, is it a thingy that's state by state in every other state?
No.
Or you guys are just in New Mexico's?
Just in New
Yeah.
Mexico.
How many different like 77
There's one in
counties?
Gallup. There's
Gallup.
There's one in Gallup. There's one in Farmington.
Shiprock?
Farmington.
I don't know about
Shiprock.
Shiprock.
Oh,
I'm like very like not geographically great, but if you guys have like been from other different areas and stuff like that, the things in Albuquerque here, this used to be called Dead Man's Curve because
Yeah,
it
I
was
remember
before
that.
the.
I
Oh really?
remember that.
Oh cool.
yeah, sure. I remember that.
Because the interstate didn't exist, and I think
know.
I try to give you guys like the David
Yeah,
Bowie
that-
like.
when you come right around this little boulevard and go around that.
And a car got wedged in there and blew up or something like that. And then like, so certain aspects of being able to reach out to like the news for help with information. Our cousin was only 15, but our perspective as little kids, the dog was huge, right? So you're gonna go inside there and you're gonna see these like photos and stuff like that.
You showed us
I
those.
needed help to get that information back in like 2009 for a school project.
Ivan, we better see if your dad's in. 'cause
But he was not feeding yesterday, and then he said he canceled out the food boxes that they had been
Bringing?
setting up. Well, it was
We'll
set
ask
up
him
at the
about it.
beginning of
We'll ask him.
lockdown, but I don't know if he
I'm
was
gonna go
giving.
knock on the door.
I don't know if he was giving away the boxes from November of 2020
I
all the
think-
way with my cousins.
Well, I think they stopped the food boxes everywhere. That's
But
just
it was
because they think
the.
everybody's okay, you know.
The storehouse was set up with this
Yeah.
other organization, so that's what I was
Oh,
fearing.
maybe through that storehouse.
Right, because that was where they were driving it here, and basically with my mom not wanting to help and give extra information and stuff like that, my dad not wanting to help with like what the cops are showing up here and starting off with, if that's the HIPAA stuff at the first, because he's trying to get them to think that I'm exactly like my sister. My sister's not here to show her side of the situation. That she's not able to articulate as best as I might be trying
No,
to
you're very
articulate in a
articulate
different
and
way.
you're very knowledgeable about things.
Well,
You
I've
know
been
what
working
caught-
hard.
You know what caught me last time was when you mentioned Lex Luthor,
Which one?
and you talked
Gene
about
Hackman.
yes, and when I was like, that just happened, and how does he know about it? The reason I caught on right away is because my son is the same way like you are.
Oh, that's
when
so
it
sick.
when it comes to movies, their scripts, what they said, what year it was, who they are, he knows all that. And
It's
I'm like,
stupid. I don't know where it
Well,
comes
and-
from.
And you said you worked at GameStop.
Yeah.
Guess who likes to shop there?
Well,
My
it's-
son.
it's an
and
addiction,
my
yeah.
grandson. They go there to get little games and they get their stuff.
And then for Christmas, you
He's
know exactly
30
what
he's
to get.
35. Yeah, I do.
I've got tons of it here
Right
from
on.
from
I know
from.
exactly
Well, no, the
what
thing
it
is the dumpster diving is when I started working at the place. It was
Did he
called.
answer? No.
No, he's not answered.
It's
You know
called
what?
Field Destroy. Try his
Oh.
if you need to talk to him later.
Yeah.
Do the phony phones.
let me
But
try.
yeah, the pulling in and stuff like that. Just be careful. I have a problem when I back up with stuff, so I couldn't do my forklift test at PetSmart But if the gates are open and stuff like that, and his car's not there, I guess it's the whole loop-the-loop idea. I've
yeah.
never done it, but I used to drive and stuff like that. So, do you guys have like people that come to the office rather than to pull you out? Because you've been, it's been really nice. You've been,
You can come
it's been
see
nice
us
to see you
anytime.
guys here,
Hey.
but I don't go out. I haven't been out since
It's been
2019.
great to see you. We're so happy to see you today.
So, thanks again
Okay.
for coming by. I'm sorry
Okay.
that I haven't had a lot of human contact, but I do appreciate that you guys do the knuckle
Okay.
bumping
Do
thing.
you need
You
me
know.
to bring any stuff? Because I'm the case manager. I'm the one that does services. I don't know a lot about all the medical management, the medication, I mean.
I just was
But
emailing
if
like
you
a
need
private
clothes,
investigator.
If you need shoes, if you need something like that.
My
glasses.
dad needs more help to
No,
get any
I'm
kind of
asking-
aspects.
I'm asking you.
I'm not worried as much
Magazines,
because
books, markers,
the
something to draw.
the situation is that if you were stuck at trying to get a report done
Yeah.
and you needed to get note cards or
Little note cards.
or C47s, there's one right there.
I don't know what that is.
It's the term on a movie set for one of the clothespins. You
Oh,
hook them to lights.
okay. All right, we
I'm
better
sorry.
get going.
So the phone number, and then they should be by my name. They would be able to find my case. It might be muddy at areas too. Do you guys like Coca-Cola? Yes. Would you like any to take to the office?
Well, thank you. You're so sweet. You're so nice.
He got a bunch of them, and then he goes and he gets them. So I think most of my food stamps goes to like that helps out and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
But all those resources that started being used because of COVID, like using like a video screen,
Yeah.
they have like a checklist of how to integrate that into people that don't have the mental capacity. There's something like ARCA.
Oh, yeah.
If there's things that you guys do, and it's Mary,
Mary.
and then it's with a C.
Deborah.
No, it's
It's a D.
So I might forget faces and names and stuff like that. And then,
And that's Mohammed. He's the one that does the medication.
yeah, that one I was getting a little bit more worried about.
So I
because
put
it-
questions on
memorable
meds.
now.
So now you can just call him and say, hey, Mohammed, this is Ivan. I need to know whatever questions you have on the
The
medication.
medical marijuana stuff, do you
That's
guys
good.
know a little bit more about like growing it at home rather than, well, what it would be is to get non-THC, it's the CBD stuff.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
the pain,
Yeah.
thingy,
Yeah.
so, they might not sell it as much as in the stores because you have to make like special requests. And one of the things in Canada is that you can tell them like, can you grow this? And they'll say like, yeah, and then you just get what you need from your, grower, but they will sell it the rest of their
The rest
allowed
of
to.
it. Oh.
Because you can't go through it all.
Yeah.
Not
You
through-
know a lot of stuff.
I know.
I
I said you need to be out here and writing all
Well,
that
you guys are
about-
part of a nonprofit, right?
Yeah.
Have you heard about sister cities and twin towns?
Yeah.
So you can go to
Yeah.
another country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard about like if you had a job at Outback, you could go to the Hawaii branch of the Outback and work as an employee there? No. Any corporation that you have the possibility to actually.
If you live in good standing, right?
Well, that was the whole thing that GameStop because of the bookstores, Barnes and Noble. So you take your paycheck in and they can use the employee ID off the pay stub.
Oh.
And that's when I used to take like copies of all the,
Did you get a discount over there?
well, it was Harry Potter. They're still there. I thought they were cutting the tree down, but they were putting a fence adapter. Let's see how this one is just going wild that way. It's like the.
I bet it did one. We'll see you, Ivan, but have
Good job and all that stuff. And
Take care, have a good one.
I just hope that none of this stuff would be any way that I'm supposed to be taking it because it's not representing the rights of getting those reports reported as soon as possible. But using anything as an example, that's where the film classics don't just, shoot the light or whatever. And it might, so that's why I'm doing the. Have you gone to Facebook yet?
I have.
Have you watched the on Facebook? You could find my images on the
Under what?
Album, and then the photos, the folders, and then there's video, and then it shouldn't be. It's just like this, but it shouldn't be like. If you want me to take it down, I can take it down or whatever. And I don't know if it's properly like dated or whatever, so it's just all mixed up. I'm sorry. I apologize. Thank you for visiting. Oh yeah, the call with dad. Sorry. I'm sorry, I just got this phone number. If it's possible to ask help with trying to contact Mohammed Abubakar.
Yes, who's coming?
This is Ivan. My name is Ivan.
Yes, Ivan, how are you?
I am okay, kinda. I just got visited by the Mary and Deborah. If I'm forgetting the names, I'm sorry.
You got it right. You are right.
And
You didn't forget.
I need to try to get a pencil or something, but I was trying to find the way to write down the names of the other medication because my dad showed up with one and I can't remember the name of it right now. I don't know where the bag is. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Can I ask just maybe spelling, because they might not have ever been offered before, but I might have had others in the history. My dad had a care coordinator that might have tried to contact during lockdown, but it's been a lot over the last five years, I guess, to get a lot mixed up. But I do appreciate you guys. The medication, it just was that there was a heart medication too. My general practitioner, the care coordinator, might have seen enough of that one medication so that the concern of needing to like stay on one and jump onto another, I think with whatever practices are like in practice, that there might be certain precautions to what the general practitioner might want It's no disrespect to what you were able to come up with in the diagnosis or whatever, but I apologize for the whole get-go of stuff. You were trying to say that there was 2 of them, and I think that I always like jumped to conclusions, but you guys kind of left by the time I was like stumbling back. And that was the thing with trying to talk to you more, because you were a guy. I didn't want it to seem sexist or something, but on the phone it just seems a little easier to maybe try to hope that the phone doesn't disconnect. But I do appreciate if you have the time. I don't know if you're like rushed or anything, if this is a good time.
Yeah, I can call you back actually. I'm with right now.
Oh, that's
Or
perfect.
you wanna call me, yeah, if you want to call me back on Monday.
That's
that would
sad.
be great.
This is the weekend, yeah. That's like 3 days away. But I do appreciate if it's just
But the name of the medication is Haldol.
HADOL. Was there another one?
That's the only one you're taking for now.
I thought you were trying to suggest 2 when you were here the other day. One that might have started with an N or a C. I could hardly remember, but I think it was recorded, I guess.
No, it's just only one for now, you know. So probably down the line we may have another one, but for now it's only one we want you to start with.
But even if I was in full compliance to complain about any of the situation, that you guys had to be put on my case, because my request was in regards to reporting kids' cases here and the abuse done by my father. If my dad was just in a car accident and you guys saw my dad getting in that car accident, the evidence of your coworkers seeing the damage to my dad's vehicle in that situation that I'm not even involved in whatsoever, and any concern to report cases for abuse or neglect for any of my right, but apparently I'm trying to report these things and people are making jump conclusions to diagnose, to actually prescribe drugs, and then that you're not concerned at all that I record any interactions with you guys and I post it on Facebook. But 3 days to have any contact, to contact a phone number that they gave me to contact here and contact you guys.
Can we?
Do you have a supervisor, Mohammed, that supervises what you guys do in the office? Do they have a phone number?
Yeah, the same phone number you call is the same number. The one you
This
call.
number went directly to you, so you answered.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
is there a different number? Because I got this number from the 2 that visited today.
Let me give it to you. You want to write it down?
I'm ready.
505
Okay.
262
Okay.
6520.
Okay. Who am I supposed to talk to as a supervisor?
Mohammed. Or you want to speak to supervisor? You can. If you want to speak to supervisor, I can transfer you or you call.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I still appreciate you, Mohammed, and I was really hoping to try to work with you as much as possible, but I didn't want to offend you in any way possible. But there has been some offenses.
Not at all. You're not offending me.
I think if anybody did this to you, you would probably want to try to uphold your own rights and your own family's, constitutional rights, if there were your rights to uphold. But it's a great example. I appreciate you. Am I getting transferred?
No, you're not. You're with me. I'm with you.
Were you going to be able to transfer my call? Because I thought that was the whole etiquette here
Who do
on
you
the
want me
phone.
to transfer you to?
Your supervisor, dude. You gave me the phone number. I asked who was I supposed to
Oh,
talk to.
Okay, so you have to call that same number and ask for the supervisor. That's
Just
what
just up in general,
Okay, that's
Mohammed.
right,
You don't know who your supervisor is, but you're just saying that you could
No, I know.
transfer.
Oh, the name. Okay, the name is Samantha.
Samantha? Would it be Samantha Groves?
I just asked for Samantha. There's only one Samantha.
Well, what's so do they have a last name?
Hello?
Did they have a last name?
Are you there?
Did they have a last name, Mohammed? Oh, okay. But I'll just try that number. I'm sorry about asking if it could be transferred. But you're only saying now that it's only Haldol. But on the visit that you had before, you were trying to give me two different names. But when I walked in to try to go get something to write with, by the time I got back, you guys had already left when you had visited.
When was that?
That was when I recorded it and posted it last on the Facebook page. It's DINGUS321 on Facebook. And then I guess I might have backed it up on the YouTube. But nobody goes to it because I unfriended everybody. So it's just like an archive to throw up stuff in case I forget stuff.
Let me quickly see this patient. We can talk later. I have somebody waiting for me right now. Do you mind?
Well, no, I was given this number to call, but you guys have been causing
Okay,
some
what's the number?
offenses.
Go ahead.
I'll call them. I'll call your supervisor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Hi, I was given this phone number by Mohammed to try to contact. Hi, I was given this number by Mohammed with First Nations to try to contact Samantha.
Hello?
Hi, I was given this phone number by Mohammed to try to contact Samantha at First Nations.
Okay, let me transfer you to the correct extension, okay?
Sorry, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for calling First Nations. This is Claudia. How can I help you?
Hi, I was given the number to call Samantha with First Nations from Mohammed. That would be a supervisor for Mohammed, I guess.
Okay, you were cutting off. What was that again?
I was calling a number that I was given by Mohammed to Samantha, a supervisor with First Nations, an organization in Albuquerque.
Yes, Samantha is out on sick leave and won't be back until the first week of June.